is taking so long? There it goes. There it goes. Oh, fuck. I forgot and left her in here
She
tonight.
goes.
Yeah. Oh, well. I'm not going to get her out of here now. Fuck it.
No.
She can stay. We'll have parakeet sounds. Be like fucking, what is it? The Beach Boys album, Pet Sounds. Fuck it.
It sets a
Love
mood. I
parakeet
like it.
sounds. Sure. Why not? When she gets squawking, it's fucking, it sucks. When she has some noises that she makes that I love. Like she does
Yeah.
these sweet little whistles and pops and stuff.
Yeah.
And when she does that shit, it's awesome. Like I'll
More
sit here and I'll
whispery
talk,
ones.
right, and I'll talk to her, like, and she'll like, she'll be right focused on me.
Yeah.
Um, but when she gets that high pitched squawk that they do, which is meant to be like heard across the outback in Australia,
Right.
you know, fucking do not want that in my house.
Yeah, we had parakeets growing up. They were very noisy.
Oh, I love her. She's great. She's a cute little bird, but she can be a noisy little bitch. But all right, let's. We didn't test out the soundboard tonight, but we'll test it out live on air. Fuck it. We'll do it live. And here we go.
You're about to witness the strength of creep knowledge.
Yep.
Good evening. Welcome to the Fortean Slip. This is episode 200. SpaceX Destination Moon. Kinda. So, Katie, you went back and watched the Sons of Sam documentary.
I did. Took it a second ride.
What'd you think for the second time around?
It was still just as riveting as the first time I watched it. Enough time had passed that it was good. I think I got another new look at it the second time around.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I've watched it I think a total of 3 times now.
Yeah, I might have watched it twice before I did my write-up, to be fair.
I think I've watched it a total of 3 times at this point. I watched it once, I watched it a second time with my son. Yeah, and I watched it this last time. And I read the book. And the thing that I will say, like, by and large, like, I think that Maury Terry went a little too far in his theory. I think his theory was in a lot of ways solid, though. I think there were a lot of connections between people that he proved. And he was very thorough in his investigations.
Yeah.
Like extremely thorough. Now, the things that I think that he took too far or he went overboard with was trying to find like satanic symbolism or items at crime scenes. I think some of that was over the top. And I think he saw Satanism everywhere.
The Bible in the tree was pretty weird, though.
It was a weird thing. However, to immediately go to that's what it had to be, and he did that with a lot of things.
True, that's true. That is a bit of a leap to just automatically assume, oh, that's got to be from that.
Right, because
That
if
is true.
anybody who's been to like an abandoned place, there's going to be some type of graffiti there. Usually you're going to find some type of satanic stuff.
Yeah.
Like any place I went when I was a kid where there was like an old abandoned place where kids hung out or whatever, there was shit on the walls.
Oh, yeah. And not nice shit.
Right. Yeah, and it was always, it was always shitty. There was always some type of satanic fucking reference or 666 or some shit. So I think with that stuff, I think he really stretched. I think he went way too far because he saw it everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think he became like that Bigfoot investigator that can't not see Bigfoot.
Right.
That's all they see everywhere they go. Because that's what they're looking for. So that's what they're going to see. But I think that his investigation was very sound. Like he admitted that there was only a slight connection with the uh who was that? The porn king there guy that got fucking shot. The one where the Bible was found. I
Uh,
can't think of his name
I
right
don't remember
now.
his name either.
Oh
I'm not good with
God.
that.
Yeah, I
I know
fucking
who you're
hate that
talking
one.
about, though.
So, and he admitted that in doing that investigation and helping the police, that he didn't so much as uncover like a satanic conspiracy in that one, but that somebody that was involved in that was also involved in the killing.
Right.
Now, do I think that there was a group of people who had this, cult type of thing going on? Yeah, I do. It's very well documented.
Right.
If you go back to the documentary, even the one cop there at the end, he's the bald guy there. He says he presented his findings to the fucking police department, and they were like, "Yeah, whatever, it's over."
Right.
Like he was just like, "Yeah, okay, fun." So, I mean, do I think that there was more than one shooter? Absolutely. Do I
Oh,
think
yeah.
one of the shooters was a woman? Absolutely. At this point.
Huh.
I think that the person in the ski cap or the winter hat was a woman. I think that they were trying to hide their hair. So, and there is they kind of tried to debunk the whole snuff tape thing in the documentary, but I tend to think that there was one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of evidence to that. The woman that was there that night that saw Berkowitz and saw his car get ticketed and him take off, and she saw the van that was there that Sisman was supposedly in taking the film from.
Right.
So there's a lot my big thing is there's a lot of unanswered questions. And while I, I want to be able to say, here's a definitive answer, there isn't one.
Well, but with that one, the whole snuff film from the van thing, that is actually one of the things that Berkowitz confirmed to Maury or Mari, whatever his name is.
Yes, he did. However, there was a lot of that stuff that he confirmed that,
Yes, the overall tone of that interview, it did not go over well. It didn't.
seemed very leading.
But that one in particular, I feel like was one of the questions that he did actually give more than a yes answer to. He did actually give a couple sentences on that topic versus a couple others where he just said, yes, that was correct. Yes, yes.
Right.
That was the one thing that stood out to me through those interviews where it's like, he actually said more on that one. And to me, that gave me some credibility. May not to everybody, but
Yeah, I did definitely enjoy the book a lot. I finished it. It took me a little bit. It was a pretty hefty book, and he went back and added stuff to it later on. So it was like a second edition. Because after there's certain things that came out after about the porno king there, the guy that had the orgy room. That's all I can
yeah.
think of is that big
Yeah.
orgy bed. And that he went back and put in a lot of other stuff after that. And there's a lot of stuff about that there may have been cops that were involved, and that's how they knew where they could get away with things when the cops were blanketing the city.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, with New York's history, that's definitely not out of the
It's
realm of
right.
possibility, you know?
It's a complete possibility.
Right.
And people who think that it isn't are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Um, Crazy shit happened in New York City in the police department in the 70s and the 80s. And to say that it didn't is folly.
Yeah. They have a long corrupt history there. I mean, long corrupt. So that's not surprising at all to think that and go, yeah, well, that's possible.
Yeah, maybe something was going on. But and I think that this is another one of those cases that points to the fact that we need to stop this whole idea of once I'm right, I'm right.
Yeah.
That mentality of the police department and prosecutors of once I've got my dude or dudes or woman or people or whatever, don't be unwilling to change your fucking mind.
Right.
Like if evidence comes through that shows that somebody else did it and you're already halfway through, drop the fucking case and start over.
Right.
Like that's the way it should be done. Not let's fabricate a story so that we can put this guy away. And I've seen that time and time again on documentaries where they catch somebody who is not the right person. They wind up getting exonerated years later because of DNA or whatever.
Yeah. The
And
amount of
they had evidence at the time that proved that it wasn't the person, but they fucking went with it anyway.
that
You know,
happens far more than it should.
right. And do you know why? Because prosecutors want to win.
Yes.
Because they do not want a loss. It's the same reason why surgeons won't take certain surgeries, because they don't want to have a fuck up.
Right. And that's not the way it should be. There should be no ego and like personal record keeping for
No,
prosecutors. This isn't like a football team and you're keeping score for the season for your personal
no.
record,
These are
you know?
human lives.
Right.
Human lives. You put people away for their life. You look at these people, some of these people who have been wrongly convicted, and, they come out with, 50%, sometimes 70% of their life gone.
Yeah.
Just gone. And we need to stop doing that. We need to stop being, this fucking incarceration state.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why we incarcerate so many people. Our prison system sucks. I don't know that it's beyond repair, but it sucks.
Yeah.
And I just, it is a very tough thing. It's a very tough question. And I don't think anybody has the answer to how to fix any of it. But there is a fucking problem when it comes to that. And I think that this, documentary / book, this whole case kind of highlights that we need to stop this narrow-minded vision of how we catch criminals.
Yeah.
And it's not about a win or a loss. It's about the truth. And if we could get to that, I think we'd do much better as a fucking race on this fucking planet.
Well, on the bright side, I do think forensics has come a long way in helping some of that. Back in the day, I think there were a lot more people when DNA wasn't a thing, that it was easier to find them guilty without the evidence. Whereas now, a cop could narrow in on somebody, but then boom, you get some DNA evidence and well, it ain't him,
Yeah.
So I think that has helped cut back on it, but it hasn't fixed the systematic issue for sure.
Yeah, no, it hasn't. And I mean, it's too bad. It's too bad. It's too bad that we're like that as human beings. Like,
Yeah.
because that's a trait that we just have. It's just
Yes, it is
in
a
us.
human nature.
It's a tribal thing. We want to win. Like our team, we want our team to win. And I don't know that can ever be taken out of us. So it's a rough one.
Well,
But
and I think there's something to be said too for our human nature to want to have justice served too. Of like, oh, this horrible crime was committed and we have to put somebody away for it. and we put our trust in cops, and sometimes they just be like, well, we got to put somebody away. So it's not a good combination.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a like I said, it's a very, very rough. It's a rough discussion.
Yeah.
Like it's not an easy discussion to have. Like nobody wants to admit where they're wrong. Like the people that want to be totally against the police and the lawmakers don't want to admit their faults in the whole scheme of things. And the people on the side of the police and the lawmakers don't want to admit their faults on their side of things.
Right.
So it's just a big fucking mess.
Yeah.
It's just a big fucking mess. So, anyhow, let's jump right into the fucking news. Oh, damn it. From mercurynews.com. Oh, Jesus. No, forget that one. I didn't realize that one was a fucking. Give us your email.
Oh, those bitches.
Yeah, like I was reading it earlier. Fuck
I
you.
hate when they do that.
Oh, God, bastards. Anyhow, we'll go to another one. This is actually an update story from newsnationnow.com. Mystery animal awaiting DNA results escapes rescue facility.
Oh,
God
wow.
damn it. Yeah, we did this story last week. The chupacabra looking thing. It's a fucking dog or a coyote. The mysterious four-legged animal found in a Pennsylvania woman's home has escaped from the rescue facility where it was staying. Found on January 17th near a woman's front door in Fairfield Township. The animal was so emaciated that it was hard to know exactly what kind of creature it was. Pictures circulated around social media sent by those who wondered whether it is a dog or coyote. Wildlife Works in Pennsylvania took the animal in for a DNA test and to treat it for mange. DNA results determining whether the animal is a dog or coyote could take 2 to 4 weeks. Maria Dillman, the president and head trainer of TJ's Rescue Hideaway, who helped with the rescue, said the animal, who hardly had any fur, showed no signs of aggression and just huddled in the corner of his cage when he first came to the facility. He was completely emaciated, Dillman said. I do think that this animal looked at her, the rescuer, and just knew that she was a pure human and she was going to help him. While at the facility, the mammal did well, Dillman said. That is until Wednesday night. A staff member who got to the hospital building Thursday morning found the animal's empty cage destroyed. There were no scratches on the walls, and the hospital area itself was trashed. According to Wildlife Works, the animal chewed through the window seal and screamed to escape. Worst news ever, Wildlife Works wrote in a news Facebook post. He never acted aggressive or distressed, and there had been no evidence of escape attempts. We had him for about a week, during which time he ate nutritious food and received treatment for his mange and secondary infections, Wildlife Works said. We can only guess he was starting to feel somewhat better and decided it was time to go. To try and lure the animal back, Wildlife Works staff members left the barn doors open with plenty of straw. The staff is also out trying to track the animal. Hopefully, those of you who know Wildlife Works know this is not our standard of care and will understand how devastated we are, not just for ourselves, but for that poor creature out there in the cold again, struggling to survive, the rescue said. No, we think you let it escape, you fuckers. You pieces of shit. You that poor fucking dog thing.
Well, I was wondering, like, what do you mean it chewed its way out? Like, it was outside? But that's a clever dog.
That's a
or whatever it is.
Clever motherfucker is what that is.
I still think it's a coyote, but
could be a coy dog too.
Yes, it could be.
Wolf. Could very well be a coy wolf. So, I mean, you never know. You never know. You never know. All right. Our next story of the evening, Katie, from ABC7Chicago.com. SpaceX rocket booster to crash into moon, leaving crater. Good old Elon Musk. A rogue rocket booster could collide with the moon in the next few weeks, according to space experts, an event that could leave a crater on the far side of the moon. The SpaceX Falcon rocket stage was used in 2015 to launch the U.S. Deep Space Climate Observatory, or DSCOVR, and has been floating around in the outer part of the Earth-Moon system ever since. Bill Gray, an independent researcher focused on orbital dynamics, who was the first to publicize the imminent collision, said by his calculations, the rocket part would hit the moon a bit north of its equator within a minute of 7:26 a.m. Eastern Time on March 4th. The way the object is moving makes it difficult to pinpoint the exact location, he added, although it is likely to change only by a few kilometers. Right now, we can't get more data because the object is quite close to the sun in the sky. On February 7th and 8th, we'll have a brief opportunity to look at it and we'll get more data. And the above time and location will be better determined, Gray said via email. NASA shared a statement Thursday about tracking the object. NASA is monitoring the trajectory of a SpaceX Falcon 9 second stage, which supported the U.S. Air Force, now U.S. Space Force, launch of the Deep Space Climate Observatory mission in 2015, said Karen Fox, Senior Science Communications Officer for NASA. That mission is a partnership between NASA, NOAA, and the U.S. Space Force. After completing its flight, the second stage was put in its intended Earth escape, heliocentric disposal orbit, Fox added. On its current trajectory, the second stage is expected to impact the far side of the moon on March 4th, 2022. While spacecraft are sometimes intentionally crashed on the moon at the end of a lunar mission, for example, space debris randomly hitting the moon is uncommon, said Holger Krag, head of the European Space Agency's Space Debris Office. It is safer for the rocket stage, which is 15 meters, 49 feet long, for those of you who don't understand meters, to crash on the moon than make an uncontrolled entry into Earth's atmosphere, Krag said. The rocket booster is thought to weigh between 3 and 4 tons. The stage would be permanently disposed from a safety point of view. This is actually the safest way of disposing it. Leaving it drifting around in orbit around the sun does not provide assurance that it will not be captured again by Earth one day, he said. Managing the return of the stage to re-enter the atmosphere in a controlled and safe way is extremely complex. Disposal on the lunar surface is still the safest. There are about 30 to 50 lost deep space objects like the Falcon rocket stage that have been missing for years, but no space agencies have systematically kept track of space debris so far away from Earth, said Jonathan McDowell, an astronomer at the Harvard and Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics. This is the first time that something not targeted at the moon has been noticed to accidentally hit it, but that's mainly because we weren't paying attention until recently, he said via email. Unintentional collisions of rocket parts with the moon could occur more often in the future, Krag said, with more missions making use of Lagrange points, equilibrium points over 1 million kilometers from Earth, where the gravitational forces of the sun and Earth are more or less balanced. Spacecraft such as the recently launched James Webb Telescope are often deployed at these points where they don't need to use much thrust to stay in orbit. McDowell said on his blog that the orbit of the rocket stage was somewhat chaotic as it was affected over time by lunar and solar gravity as well as Earth's. Both Krag and McDowell said there are no clear guidelines for space agencies and companies to handle these situations, and disposing of these launchers and spacecraft and satellite they deliver is difficult. Traffic in deep space is increasing, McDowell said. Yeah, no shit. Have you seen the fucking map? It's fucking... We have the biggest junk pile around our fucking planet.
I know, and it's kind of concerning that they just said they don't really pay attention to it. Like, what?
Until recently. And they've started tracking a lot of it now. So like they have a pretty good map of the stuff that's close to Earth. But what they're talking about is the stuff that's further out.
Yeah, still.
Oh yeah, it's a fucking joke. But anyway, yeah, they're fucking crashing. The thing's gonna crash into the fucking moon. I don't know if it's gonna be on the far side of the moon, so we're not gonna be able to see it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. Like, well, it's on the far side of the moon, so whatever.
Yeah, that fucking sucks. I figured I'd be able to see it. I found one I found one Bigfoot story this week, and I couldn't use it.
Oh, was that the first one?
That was the first one. Like
Oh,
Bigfoot
bummer.
stories are. I'm telling you, Bigfoot stories right now, they're fucking far and few between.
Bigfoot is so last season.
I'm telling you, Bigfoot's out of fucking. It's out of season. It's not. It's out of the pop culture.
Yes, it's no longer
Done.
trendy.
It's done. I don't know when it's gonna pop up again. It's gonna rear its ugly fucking head and howl. But Jesus, I looked for stories. You couldn't find shit. I can remember when I looked for news stories for Bigfoot and I couldn't not find them.
Yeah.
And now it's nuts. There's nothing out there.
Well, and just cryptid stuff in general too. Like it's just not.
Yeah, it's
It's
pretty
not
barren.
a hot topic anymore.
It's fucking pretty barren. All right. From newsobserver.com. Fucking Jesus Christ. Shut up, website. Talk of UFOs ignited by mysterious red trail seen in darkness off the Outer Banks. A man taking time-lapse images of the Milky Way also captured a series of odd light swirls in the sky, and the resulting footage has ignited talk of UFO activity off North Carolina's Outer Banks. Artist Wes Snyder is known in the Southeast for his coastal, not casual, Chris, photography, particularly images taken at night. But even he is at a loss for what the rotating red trails might be. The lights are seen multiple times in his video, always along the horizon, and they appear to be circling something. Snyder says the movement defies easy explanation when taking into account the time-lapse process. Each photo is taken with a 10-second exposure with 1 second in between. I've caught thousands of plane trails and never have any of them look like this. So I'm certain they are not your typical aircraft, Snyder told McClatchy News. I've caught these trails before in several other time lapses, but I've yet to figure out what kind of plane possibly has these capabilities. Whatever they are, they have some incredible maneuverability. The photos were taken between 8 and 10 p.m. on September 27th, with cameras facing west toward the mainland. Snyder says the trails were visible for 10 to 20 minutes. The video was only recently posted online because of the time it takes to edit images taken simultaneously by 3 cameras, he said. We are not too far away from a bombing range, and eastern North Carolina is known for lots of military aircraft, Snyder said. My bet is that it's military aircraft training over the Pamlico Sound. All I want to know is how can I get on a ride in whatever it was, he added. I'll show you guys the photo here. I mean, it looks interesting, but I don't know that it means anything. You know, if Phil's watching, he might be able to get weigh in on it. So
That is interesting.
That's the photo there. The red lines are the supposed object in question.
Did he say whether he could see it with the naked eye or was it only with the camera?
I don't think he was paying attention enough to it.
Huh. That's really interesting,
I think he
actually.
just kind of set the camera up. I think that's what the deal is.
Right. Well, with his exposure time and stuff, that makes sense, but because that lets in more light. So that's why I was curious if he could see it with the naked eye or if it was just the long exposure time.
He might have just set that fucking camera up, kicked back, and had a smoke.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what his process is, but that is pretty interesting.
Yeah, no, that is actually very interesting.
So, but I'm sure there it's cloud formations. It's cloud formations. They're making a red light like that, Phil.
I'd say, I don't know. Where's the light coming from?
I'm not buying that it's a fucking cloud formation, Phil. You need to do better work than that. You need to fucking go back to the drawing board. Come back to me with something that makes sense. Like that somebody put an Etch-a-Sketch on top of the fucking picture. Makes more sense to me than it's clouds.
Well, there has to be a light source then.
What kind of clouds have fucking red lines on them?
Right.
That's great. Wait, if you come back with swamp gas, I swear to God. I swear to fucking God. Fucking swamp gas. God damn it. I don't know. It's just it's obviously it's some type of aircraft, but if, this
It's weird.
the whole UFO fucking craze, like that that's another one. It's like the whole Maury Terry thing
Yeah.
with Son of Sam. Like people who are in that field just see UFOs everywhere.
Right.
They see them everything.
We hear it in
Shut
almost
the
every
fuck up.
story where they're like, I'm 100% sure. Like, this proves it for sure.
No, I'm not buying it, Phil. I'm not buying it. You need do a video on it. I want a full fucking workup that doesn't say the sun on the clouds because I don't buy it.
Well, that answers my light source question. It's whether or not I
No,
believe that's what it
see,
is.
when Phil does videos, this is the thing. When Phil does a video, I'm always like, you motherfucker. Like, because I go into it thinking, all right, maybe I'll see something good today.
Yeah.
And then he rationally explains something and,
Takes out all the
with,
fun.
with the exception of one, which I fucking should call you out for, you prick. And then I'm like, oh yeah, what the fuck? Why didn't I see it that way? Or of course he's right. Like I always say that with stuff, but with this one, you telling me something, Phil, and I'm not buying it. Not fucking buying it. Like I'm not going, yep, nope, Phil's right. God damn it. He fucking ruined it for me again. I'm not buying it this time. So go back to the drawing board. I need more than fucking it's the goddamn sun on the clouds. What are they, fucking clouds done by Hanna-Barbera? For fuck's sake. Jesus. Oh. Oh God. All right. From the mirror or mirror.co.uk. Woman who has daily alien encounters says blue-skinned creatures are testing the waters. A woman says that she is having daily encounters with aliens after she spotted her first UFO during lockdown. Lily Nova, 29, said that she took up astrophotography out of boredom and made her first sighting in November, followed by another a short while later. And things ramped up from there. Now, not a day goes by that she doesn't see a floating orb, a metallic ship, or an extraterrestrial being.
Wow.
Oh, God. And she can even describe what they look like. Lily from St. Louis, Missouri, U.S., said one of the aliens looked like a girl with light blue skin, no hair, and added that the very beautiful being was wearing a skin-tight gray suit. She said, my first encounter with aliens and UFOs was very intense. I went outside for some fresh air one night, and I immediately locked eyes with the bright light hovering over the neighborhood. I started investigating and realized it was a UFO. Seconds later, I looked away briefly, and when I looked back, there was a second craft that was much closer. I could actually see the triangular shape of the craft. The UFO did some impressive maneuvers to show me that it wasn't a regular aircraft before they disappeared above me. Lily said she was spooked after her first encounter, but since then it's become a common occurrence. She continued, during my encounters, I have also been able to see what the beings look like. One of the first beings I saw was a girl with light blue skin. She had no hair, but she was very beautiful. She was wearing a skin-tight gray suit, and I saw her shipmates standing behind her in the same uniform. I have also seen another group of beings with light blonde hair, fair and glowing skin, and bright blue eyes. Nazis? I mean, I believe they send images of themselves to me through telepathy. I think they are easing me into an introduction of what it would be like to have a Jewless society. No, that's not what it says. An introduction as to it would be as it would be a shocking experience for any human to have an alien walk up on you. Lily believes the aliens were testing the waters with her after her first shocking encounter, as she says they were motioning towards her and knew she was recording. She thinks that they then gave her some space to process the experience before appearing to her again. Lily added, my encounters have been very close from the start. I could not believe what I was seeing. It was groundbreaking, and it piqued my interest in astrophotography even more. Maybe we should get her in these fucking red lines in the sky. Maybe she could do better than Phil. I needed to find out as much as possible. I abandoned my career as a nutritionist. Oh, because it was overtaken by my passion for finding out more about UFOs and aliens. It's not something I ever expected to happen. The shock of my encounters with the UFOs eventually turned to comfort as I had more and more experiences. It felt like I was developing a relationship with them. These experiences have changed everything for me. It has totally changed my view of the world, and I've learned so much about the cosmos and other beings. I've been focusing on spreading awareness of what I have found. Lily now believes that she can invite these experiences with the aliens and UFOs when she is in a relaxed, open, and blissful state of mind. She says that she has even developed a sixth sense, an intuitive gut feeling for when they are going to appear to her. Lily added, whenever I'm out doing my creative passion, astrophotography, this is when I believe I can make contact and invite these encounters. I have been out with a friend who is experienced in meditation, and we set our intention for them to appear to us. And within 5 minutes of getting out of the car, a bright golden orb appears and was moving around to our questions. Since the shock wore off, I just feel joy, love, and peace. They are such beautiful and positive experiences. Sometimes I even bawl my eyes out crying while it's happening. I believe that they come to me because I believe in them. I am open-minded, and I am welcoming towards them. I think you're full of shit.
I'm confused because she mentions the astrophotography several times, but yet I hear no mention of a picture of said ridiculous things she claims to see.
Oh,
I'm confused.
They are. They are. Oh, wait. You want to see the pictures?
I have to see the pictures.
You want to see her pictures? Let me show you. Let me show you her capture of 2 UFOs here. Wait a minute. Find it here. This is her capture of 2 UFOs at once. Katie, I want you to keep that in mind. 2 UFOs at once.
That looks like a little bird chasing a big bird to me. I see it happen all the time. Where's
Katie,
the pretty
I don't
alien?
understand how you can't see UFOs in that photo.
No,
That's
I see a big
obviously-
bird and a little bird.
It's obviously UFOs. I don't see how you can see. Phil says it's cloud formations. This time,
Oh yeah,
this time, Phil, I tend to agree with you.
I'm sticking to the birds. It's birds.
Fucking cloud formations. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so yeah, I don't buy that woman's bullshit.
No,
God
I don't think anyone
almighty.
does.
Oh. From leoweekly.com, the Ghost Hunters team visited a haunted Kentucky tavern, and you can watch the episode this weekend. The paranormal investigation show Ghost Hunters returns to Kentucky, on our screens at least, this weekend. This Sunday's episode, Ghosts of Gaines Tavern, will spotlight the show's TAPS team investigating the Abner Gaines house in Walton, Kentucky, a small town outside of Cincinnati. The episode will premiere this Sunday, January 29th, and you'll be able to hear such things as, what was that? Huh? Oh, be quiet. What was that? The episode description says Taps visits a 19th century Kentucky tavern plagued by a series of murders and suicides. The city is getting ready to reopen the building to the public, and the mayor wants to be sure that remnants of its tragic past don't resurface as dangerous entities. Ooh. The Abner Gaines house, which is currently listed on the National Register of Historic Places, previously served as a tavern, post office, inn, and stagecoach stop in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. It's now the Gaines Tavern History Center, which was closed to the public in 2020. Excuse me. Whoa, that one came out. This isn't the first time the Ghost Hunters team has investigated supposedly haunted places in Kentucky. Other Kentucky destinations they've visited include Waverly Hills Sanatorium, Frankfort's Buffalo Trace Distillery, and Western Kentucky University. Interesting. I'm never impressed by those investigations. I'm not.
No, me neither.
I don't know what they can do with ghost hunting shows that would make me buy into it. Like, and for the record, like, I'm a guy who believes in ghosts, just not the ghosts that they try to show on TV.
Yeah, that's something you have to experience.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some interesting experiences in my life. Um, and I would say that they've definitely cemented that for me. But I can't share that with somebody. I can't besides it being a story,
Right.
I can't give them evidence. I can't show them a video. I can't, you know, there's no data recorder. I can't do it. So so when it comes to ghost hunting TV shows, I just have such a problem with them. I mean, I have a problem with the fucking Sasquatch hunting TV shows too, but I won't go into that. The fucking Bigfoot factoids. Really? We have we have Bigfoot facts now?
Well, they kind of do the same shit of like, Shh, did you hear that? What was that?
Oh yeah. Oh, they definitely do. They definitely do. Only they have, they're outside instead of inside.
Right.
You know. Uh, I it's just not. It's not my thing. And I've been out on them. I've gone out to uh I've gone out on investigations or two locations. Hell, Phil's in the fucking chat. He was at one place with me, that we went to. Um, I just, by and large, it's a lot of shit. And there's a lot of politics that goes along with stuff like that, too.
Yeah.
Like between the different people that are in quote unquote investigating the situation. So you might have multiple different people who don't all fucking agree investigating the same fucking situation. They're not conferring with each other's, you know, findings, or if they are, it's someone's keeping something close to the chest because they don't want to give away too much information. It's just, in my experience, it's a lot of horseshit
Oh, yeah. I agree.
in the Bigfoot community. You know, when I went to go to the Justin Smeha site, there was someone who was pissed that I was going up there. I won't mention who it was, but there was someone who was pissed that I was going there
Why would they give a shit if you went there or not?
because that was an active investigation site. I was like, it's
Oh,
fucking public land.
right? No shit. And
Like,
who's
fucking people are up
actively
there all the
investigating
time.
it?
Yeah. Somebody there right now?
Right. If it was that important, they would have got what they needed and got out of there,
Yep.
not left it
A,
lay.
pho-
So
a phone call was made. I can tell you that. So,
that's dumb.
yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you who after the show.
Cool. I'm nosy. I like to know things.
From ladbible.com, Jedward claims aliens are stalking them and urge them to make contact. Irish singing duo Jedward are claiming aliens are stalking them and have urged the extraterrestrial creatures to make contact. Well, they should get in touch with that woman in Missouri. Fucking listen,
Call
Jedward.
Lily.
Just, call up Lily. She'll set you up. The twins 30 from Dublin announced a claim in a TikTok video late last night published to their 141.5K followers. John and Edward Grimes became famous for their long and spiky peroxide blonde hair after appearing on X Factor in 2009. John or Edward wrote in the caption, "Hi aliens, hope you see this. Thanks for stalking us." They used the "We Are All Confused" skit by Cindy Lou as the backing track for the video, with one twin saying, "I'm extremely confused." The other then responds, "You're confused? I'm fucking confused, bro." People have watched the video 42.2K times on social media platform, and it's given it 1.3K likes. Many of the brothers' fans responded with messages of support. One said, "I was drawn to your magic, your music, your vibe, then got to see your beautiful hearts and souls, and so not confused." Others admitted they too were always confused and Jedward should stop worrying. One suggested they would be fantastic representatives for the people of Earth if the aliens found them. I disagree. Gonna just disagree there. But it's unclear whether she thought Jedward would represent your average human being well, or whether the aliens would like them because of certain similarities in appearance. One fan said, I think we should all go live on planet Jedward to be fair. Sounds like much better Krayek than Earth. Jedward have a history of connecting with alien life. They do? So this new claim is far from a surprise. They once promised to host an alien concert on the moon for their fans from further dimensions and galaxies. Wow. They tweeted, someday we're going to fly to the moon and have a concert there for all the aliens. If Yuri Geller finds out, Jedward should expect a phone call. The British Israeli illusionist and psychic only recently warned NASA about a potential alien invasion. His predictions came after scientists discovered a massive energy source with unknown origins over 4,000 light years away from Earth. The phenomenon had been emitting radio waves, which some believe proved the existence of alien communications on another planet. He said, it's unlike anything astronomers have seen before. No doubt in my mind that this is connected to alien intelligence way, way superior than ours. Can they bend spoons too, you fucking fraud?
I'm so confused as to what those two kids have anything to do with aliens.
I don't think they have anything to do with
I'm
aliens.
just so confused.
They are more relevant than Neil Young. Listen, this is what I'll say about Neil Young. I'm a fan. I like his music. I can like somebody's music and not like the person.
Word.
I think that what he's doing to what he's trying to do, because it's failing so miserably. And I also think that there's ulterior motives behind what he's doing too. I don't think him leaving Spotify or doing all. I think there's more behind it than just the whole Joe Rogan thing.
Yeah.
But for one artist to try to silence another artist, I think it's the definition of fucking hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Neil Young was, came up in a time when the whole idea of music was a form of dissent. And, it was a way to get out ideas. And that's the same thing that podcasts are today.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're discussions between people, whether they be the same people every week or different people every week. They're discussions between two different people or a few different people, and maybe ideas get exchanged that aren't exactly correct or true or whatever, but they're conversations.
Yeah.
And I don't care who you are. Joe Rogan is an artist. He's not a news guy. He's not, and he said this many times, he's not a doctor. He's just a guy that gets together and, fucking talks to people in as far as I'm concerned, in a very rational way. Even though he does it sometimes fucking on, drinking booze and smoking weed, those conversations are still more rational than most of the shit that I hear on mainstream media today.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like Joe Rogan blasted out of his mind on weed, talking to a fucking doctor, to me, is 100 times more informative than Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, or any of it.
Well, and all those other guys are nitpicking his stuff. Like even the people who are picking up on this whole Neil Young thing and are shaming Joe Rogan, like, oh yeah, he needs to be deplatformed. Like they're not even mentioning that he has guys from the other side on too. Like that Dr. Gupta or whatever. Like he's had people from both sides and had both sided conversations. So
and for the record, like I watched the Joe Rogan response, the 9 minute
I have not yet
response. And Joe Rogan's a better man than me. Because he's very very, very cool about it. You know, he says, I'm not mad about it. I'm not angry. Spotify wants to put disclaimers in front of the shows where I have these people on. That's fine. He's like, I should do a better job of having different types of people on, with varying opinions. He's like, I'd like to do that anyway.
Well, he kind of already does that, I think, but
Well, I think
he's
he
being
wants to have it be
generous.
more of a mix, but he does all the scheduling himself.
Right.
So it's all on him. And I just think people need to take a fucking step back and realize the dude is an artist. That's it. He's just having conversations with people. If you want to listen to the conversation and take something from it, fucking great. As with anything that has to do with your own fucking medical health, talk to your own fucking doctor.
Right. That's
Don't
your
just listen
responsibility
to
as an individual.
a podcast or don't just listen to CNN and MSNBC and fucking Fox News and make your medical decisions based on that. Talk to your fucking doctor or your fucking guru or whatever the fuck you got. Talk to that person that helps you make your medical decisions. And for the record, not all people use fucking cool people to fucking make their medical decisions.
Right.
But it's gotten to a point where things have become so polarized and so politicized that I am disgusted. I'm beyond disgusted. Like, I can't have normal conversations with people anymore without it being about, it has to be about the polarization. You
Yeah.
can't just talk about the situation. We have to talk about why this side's right and this side's wrong. And I'm fucking tired of it. It's not about finding a fucking solution anymore. It's about fucking tearing people down.
Yeah.
It's a gross, disgusting way for us to live. And I'm telling you, it's going to destroy this country. It's going to fucking destroy it.
Yeah, because this is really an attack on freedom of speech. I mean, that really is what this issue comes down to.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an artist, like you said, and he's putting out a product for entertainment. And you're allowed to say things that may be controversial, but that's not illegal. So to try to shut a company down because they're platforming this dude, it just seems very hypocritical,
And some of the things that he's being quoted as being misinformation on are things that fucking now are deemed, that probably is the way that it happened. Or,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. And
Well, he's taken out
the,
of context a whole lot too.
Oh yeah.
You can't take a snippet from a 4-hour conversation and feel like you got the whole gist of the thing,
Yeah. And it's just, and like I said, I don't know what the fucking answer is anymore.
No.
It's just, we've gotten to this, it goes back to the whole tribal fucking bullshit of human beings. And it's gotten so bad that I don't know that we can dig ourselves out of it. And I think social media has made it worse.
Oh, yeah.
It's polarized people even more. It's made the dumbest of the fucking dumb even dumber.
Right. Well, and it's made people's opinions more accessible. Prior to social media, you may have an acquaintance that you see once or twice a month, but you don't ever know their political views because it doesn't come up when you see them. But now everybody just blasts all their shit on social media. And even though you haven't seen this dude in 6 months, you know how he feels about politics.
I've lost at least 3 family members, like people who I knew through family.
Yeah.
I would say not family members, but people who I knew through family, because of this whole thing.
Why do you think I'm not on Facebook?
Because I took a stand in the middle and I wouldn't take a side.
Yeah.
And because I did that, I was contributing to the problem. These people were Democrats, by the way. Just saying. But I'm beyond out of my mind about this. It's disgusting on a level that I've never seen before. And the media, and it's not just social media, the media is kind of egging it along.
Oh yeah.
And I'm frightened. Not so much for me. I'm frightened for my kids.
Yeah.
Like, I've said it for a while now. My life's fucking good. Like, I'm 45. I've done a shit ton of stuff in my life. If fucking I drop dead tomorrow, I can't say that I didn't live. You know? I'm good. All right, cool. I'm worried about what's going to be left for them. And where this whole shit show's going. You know? Because this whole woke inclusive fucking bullshit has gone too fucking far. Not everything needs to look like a Sunny D commercial. There are portions of the world where people can be, you know, not that. You know, my favorite thing is they've gone and taken books which will categorize people in certain ways. Like, there are certain people that come from certain sections of the universe or world in which we're living in, and they have a certain look about them. But now, no, fuck that. It's got to be, we have black people, we have Asian people, we have Mexican people, we have fucking Russian people, we've got Americans, and they're all these people that all look different are all this one race that was supposed to look a certain way in the story. I fucking don't even know what to say anymore.
Yeah.
We've gone that fucking far that we can't just tell a story as it is. It has
Yeah.
to be changed so that nobody gets their fucking feelings hurt. Fuck you.
Yeah. The sensitivity has
Fucking Christ. Don't read an H.P. Lovecraft short story, for fuck's sake. Oh my God. If you don't want to see the N-word, by Jesus.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're even allowed to say that anymore.
Fuck. I mean, what have I just want to know what we're becoming. I want to know. Like, I just let's become those fat things that the fucking robots take care of in fucking Wall-E.
Right? I'm telling you,
Like,
we might be
just
headed in that direction.
Fuck, we're pieces of shit. That's what we are. We're just fucking pieces of shit.
I've actually been saying this for years, long before COVID even, that this whole wussification of America trend that's been going on for a long time, where everybody's getting their feelings hurt and everybody gets in an uproar. It's because we've lost touch with the main ingredient that makes freedom work, and that's tolerance. If you want to enjoy your freedom, you have to tolerate other people enjoying their freedom. But somehow we can't do that anymore. And when we don't like what our neighbor's doing, we got to yell and scream about it.
Oh, yeah.
If we could all just be tolerant of each other, things would be a lot better.
Yeah, no, there's so little fucking tolerance these days.
I'm telling you, I've been saying that to people for a decade. Like, we have lost our tolerance.
You're absolutely right. You couldn't have said it any better. It said you're absolutely right. Fucking
freedom cannot work without it. It can't.
Yeah, you have to give people leeway. Like, you've got to. Like, and I'm not saying that you should let them trample all over what you believe in.
No.
Like, but Jesus Christ, people, be a little bit more open-minded.
Yeah, and just let them do them. Like, different folks, different strokes. Like, all right, you believe a lot different than me. Cool. Go enjoy your life, and I'm going to enjoy mine.
Right. I'll enjoy my shit over here.
Right.
Not everybody wants to fucking be Tiger King and go fucking blow shit up.
Right. But that's cool. You blow your shit
Yeah.
up.
You go fucking shoot at your tannerite. Anyhow, on that note, we will be back next week. Same fucking bad time, same bad channel. We'll keep this on Mondays at 7. If you like this shit, hit that little thumbs up button there on Facebook, YouTube, whatever. It won't be on YouTube for a little bit, but and subscribe. Hit the fucking like on the like page. I don't know what the fucking like page does now. I don't know if you can even do that. It's followers now. It's not likes anymore. It's fucking followers. But you can go to fucking facebook.com/the Fortean Slip. Fucking like that shit. And you can go check out Phil. I mean, he was here. You might as well. Over at Para Breakdown on YouTube. He's got some fucking pretty funny shit right now. I will say that. Phil, I'm gonna give you this one. I skip by your little goddamn advertisements at the beginning of your videos because they generally suck. And I'm gonna be honest, they generally suck. However, the Bill Cosby NyQuil bottle, I'm gonna give you that one. I'm gonna give you that one, and that's all you're getting.
I don't think
That's
I saw
it.
that one.
That's all you get out of me. That's all you get. All right. This has been the Fortean Slip, episode 200, SpaceX Destination Moon. Kinda. We will be back next week. Have a good time. Be good to one another. See ya!